Hey YouTube divas, like all 250 of you. I never really done a talking video like this, but I did want to come on here and just like share a little bit because it is 9 months now since I've been posting my music in motion vlog, which is crazy to think of the person that I was 9 months ago when I decided to just start filming every day of my life. And I just knew there was a reason why I needed to start filming it, but I didn't know why. I just trusted that like higher power. And the crazy thing is, it was actually because my digital camera got stolen when I was at the club, so I had nothing to be documenting, and I was like, I think I need to upgrade. So I got a GoPro in Guayaquil, Ecuador, and I started filming my journey from Guayaquil onwards. I filmed my journey from Cuenca, Vilcabamba, all throughout Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, then Nashville. And we're like 35 episodes in. There's still so much more to go. We're really just getting to the juicy part. And spoiler alert, I mean, I created the vlog and I didn't really know why, but I just knew I needed to document what was happening in my life. And I accidentally documented this whole journey of myself becoming an artist, but also realizing the things that make me an artist, and that I don't create for fun or for shits and gigs. Like, I do it because I genuinely, that's all I can do to make sense of my place in the world and survive and cope with grief and loss and addiction. And like, I think the biggest thing that I realized in this time is my whole life I've grappled with vices, and every time I got rid of something and then it would be replaced with another thing, I just genuinely could not figure out how. It was always the next thing. And I think it was during this journey that I realized that I also did ayahuasca. I met some incredible people. I launched headfirst into this incredible wellness community, Vilcabamba, completely on accident. I just learned that, like, sobriety isn't something that you can just find on its own. You can sit around, you can try and make better habits. You can tick each day off the fridge, off the calendar. Another day you've done. You can work your ass off and fight. Fight for your sobriety, fight for your mental health, fight for your well-being. Or you can build a life so full that you don't even remember the vice. You don't even notice it missing because you've built so many things around it. And for me, that's the only way that I do stay well. And I guess I just started this thing for fun and to document, being a musician and going to all these cool places. And I just kept realizing that, like, I don't want to just share generic travel content. I'm interested in so much more. I'm interested in traveling around to other communities of the world. I'm interested in exploring the world. I'm interested in seeing what people around the world do that makes them well and keeps them well. And I accidentally discovered it. And it was just all completely reiterated to me. And my last stop before I came home in Nashville, because I was so excited for Nashville. And it was an incredible time. I caught up with a buddy of mine that I met in Hawaii, which was the first stop of my trip, and he had a show and it was incredible. But this just wasn't this idealistic thing that I looked up to of Nashville in Tennessee. It was not what I expected. And I realized all of these communities, these music communities that are based on hype, that are built to this level, then what actually made them what they were is lost. And it's really difficult to create when you're trying to survive. And when the creating itself becomes this means to an end, and you're doing all these little gigs to make it by, but you don't believe in what you're doing, and you're just singing to drunk people and also getting drunk. And then when are you actually able to connect with yourself? And I met so many people that just aren't able to connect with that root of themselves and their real true creativity, the power that actually lies within them. Anyway, there's so much I discovered, seriously. But I just want to share a little video to say that it didn't end there. I mean, I'm just starting on Bolivia content now, and then we go through Bolivia, Brazil, Nashville, but it doesn't end there. That's the thing. I didn't know what I was going to do when I came back home, and I guess I just kept following my intuition and the vibe, and it happened. And instead, I didn't even know how to sit with myself. I couldn't even sit at home. I was home for a week. And then I left again. And I travelled around Western Australia with my granny. I spent time with family in Western Australia. Went up to the Northern Territory. I had friends' weddings. I didn't know how to sit with myself. And I spent a lot of time at home with family. And I would live with my sister for a couple months in Geelong. And that was when I really locked in creatively. And I realized a lot of things. I locked in, I taught myself how to produce. But throughout this whole period of returning home, I documented that return. Arguably, I think that's just as important, if not more, than the travels, because it's so easy to like come to a conclusion or realize something or change while you're away. But then the part that people don't share is then what happens when you return, when you're home, when you're in your old environment, but you feel new, but then you're just wrestling between these two people, and what are you and how do you mesh the two together? Because for me, all my friends who I knew when I left were living completely different lives, and the person I was so different. I mean, I had not only had a year in South America, but the 2 years prior to that, I had been in the Northern Territory. I lost my dad and grandfather, and so I was there like in the family business, dealing with the estates. There was so many other things going on. So I tried to just pluck myself back into that same life that I was in 4 years ago, and nothing was the same. And I found myself like crawling back into these old habits, but being really self-aware at the time. And so then I started making an EP called Shedding Skin, which is about that. But the courage that it takes, right? The courage that it takes to realize these patterns as they have it happening and unlearn them. And for me, it was this constant wrestling. I was in this town. This town was the town that I lived in when my dad passed away. And the last time I left, I was escapism, drinking, like just being an absolute lunatic and completely trying to just erase my existence off the planet, to be honest. And then I'm back here and I have all these new ideas, and no one is really on my wavelength. I think maybe my ideas are stupid. I don't know if people are actually going to relate or understand actually, and maybe I need to just, but luckily for me, I still have so much like shit to go through when I'm home, and I realize how many people rely on me and need me. And I have to put myself on the line. I have to put myself out there. I have to fucking do this because I'm so sorry. Like, this is embarrassing. Yeah, I'm putting myself out here on social media. I'm completely changing who I am. This is embarrassing to an extent, but what's the other option? I'm out of options. There's no other plan. I'm an artist. I left not knowing. I came back. I'm an artist, and there's no fucking two ways about it. That's all I can do. Unless I want to die a slow death, I have to die every day. I have to shed parts of my old self to become the person that I want to be, and it's fucking hard. But also, the more you do it, the more that hard actually isn't really hard anymore. That just becomes part of you. And like, I think for a long time, I just thought like that maybe my life was just always going to be destined for hard things, difficult things, like making the right choice, not the one that is going to be fun or easy, making the thing that's right for me. Then slowly, like, light comes back into my life again. And I mean, the song Shedding Skin, you know, it's like talking about being alone on a Saturday night again, and that's something that's so foreign to me. I've never ever done it. and living with my sister, and I had this blessing. She had stuff on every weekend, and she had an anxious dog that needed someone to be home. And so I was home with him, and it hurt alone, no plans, no one to soothe this fucking feeling of that's eating me alive inside, and I have to just be home. I have to be. And it's fucking scary. You reach for the phone, you reach for the dating apps, you reach for your old friends, you reach for anyone or anything to pull you away from this feeling. But then you realize the feeling is your art. That's how you make good art. You feel it and you make it and you go through it. That is the process. And so I did. I felt it and I made it and I went through it. And it was fucking hard. And I started off, like, I did this whole bridging exercise where, like, I was starting with the music in motion episodes, right? Because that's something I'd learned to do. I taught myself Adobe Premiere Pro when I was overseas, and that was just something that I did, okay? And it was like, I taught myself this as I was sober, and it was like there was all this energy that was like, okay, I can use this to like learn, to build, to create things, to, like, it's hard, but I think as an adult, the more that you actually realize that things that are hard, you can come on that other end of it, and then it becomes something you know, and then that's addictive to know, to learn, to come out the other side. That's addictive. And so, Adobe Premiere Pro, right, create, amazing. But then that became the comfort. So then I was home, and I wanted to make music, but I just couldn't, because like, I know how to do the vlogs. I was going deep diving into all this shit. Anyway, so what I did was like a bridging exercise. So I would say, okay, the first hour of every day, just work on music production, open up Ableton, do something dumb and stupid, record it, do something silly. You only have to do an hour. No one's going to be mad at you if you do any less. I mean, if you only do an hour, that's all you have to do. Actually, you're only allowed to do an hour. So I do an hour every morning, just tinkering around. And like slowly, bit by bit, I would be like, only an hour. I'm on this, but nah. Because we want to create a like neuro pathway that we're excited to work on this. You know what I mean? That it's not something we hate. And I think neurodivergent people, we can easily burn ourselves out because like we have these ideas, we have these things we want to achieve for ourselves, and we don't achieve what we want straight away. So then we're hard on ourselves. So then we just basically get rid of it. We're like, nah, I suck at that. But for me, it was like I really wanted to intentionally create a very positive neural pathway with Ableton. And it be something I do out of joy. And you know what? So weird. The year of the snake ended, right? That night, me and my sister had a big ceremony. We, we worked a lot on our relationship and healing our relationship with each other, our old patterns, our family patterns. And we did come to a big realization. Actually, like, we get along. Actually, we love each other. We're very fucking similar. Actually, it's everyone else's fault that we are like this. Because when they're not there, we can move forward. And it's just been so, so beautiful. That was my biggest wish of this year. Like, even when I did my ayahuasca ceremony last year, my biggest wish to come out of that was to repair the relationship with my sister. Like, that is of the biggest importance to me. And so she and I did this ceremony, and we let go of a lot of stuff. We wrote it all down. We let go of it. And the next day, I woke up and I was thinking, because on the way home from Nashville, I watched the Billie Eilish documentary, and she really, really helped me put into this understanding. I always felt like my sad music added a weight to the world. But after watching her documentary, I realized that actually, by sharing the sadness, you don't weigh the world down. You actually help make the world lighter. Baby, you groove better under your own light. Shameless plug. Just a fan. And that's the thing. Like, Billie Eilish is lighting up generations of young people through sharing her darkness. And it seems counterintuitive, but then the more you realize, by sharing, you give people a platform or a permission to feel the same, to express how they feel. And see, that's what I've been doing the last like 6 months with my music. Not with my music, with my social media. Like, sharing everything I'm feeling and going through my social media. And it mainly only started because I fucking suck at updating multiple people. I've got too many different family group chats and too many different people in my life who don't talk to each other. So I'm just like, okay, I'm posting everything on my Instagram and you can just see how I'm doing there when I was traveling. But then unexpected people started to really resonate with that. And I realized the importance of just sharing. Anyway, and then I was thinking about Billie Eilish and I was thinking like, oh, I'm so hard done by. You know, she's got her brother who's producing her music. It seems like all these people that come up, they have someone in their corner helping them. Like, I don't have anybody. I don't have a fucking sibling who's going to produce my music. I don't have this. Anyway, first day, New Chinese Year of the Horse, I woke up and I was like, bitch, you don't have anyone to do that for you because that person is you. Just fucking do it. So I did. I locked the fuck in. I locked in. And I just started producing music from that day onwards. Shedding Skin was the first one. Basically, my rule was like one song every day. Cut it off at there. New song next day. We don't end up hating the song. We just do a process. Idea, song, every day. Pretty much the rest of February. Pretty much the rest of March. We're just making songs. So I have like a very decent bank of them now. And yeah, it's incredible. It's amazing. Seriously. Like, and I just feel so clear. And I love making music. I love producing music. And I'm so glad. I wouldn't have it any other way. Because nobody else would be able to execute my vision the same way that I would be able to execute my vision. So there's a reason why that no one else is doing it for me. And that's the thing with life that I realize is that if you have obstacles, you're never given more than what you can deal with. So if you have obstacles in the way, maybe the obstacles are there for a reason. Like, I notice every single time I get driven out of something, every single time something awful happens to me, it's like pushing me out of a place, and it happens so many times. And it's the realization is like, it's because I'm meant for more than that. So like, accept a point in time or a journey for what it is, and then accept the ending of that chapter and keep moving forward because you're meant for more. And so anyway, it was a really difficult process then, trying to figure out, who the heck is going to mix and master this? I don't know anyone. And anyway, I went through a lengthy process with researching, couldn't really find anyone. Turns out the perfect guy was on Instagram. Like, I saw an Instagram ad, and this was after I was tired of this annoying guy who'd sort of like, I don't know, he patronized me. I was like, nah, whatever, goodbye. And whatever, keep your money. He did actually give me a refund. But anyway, I was very professional about it. But then I see Ben on Instagram. I'm like, all right, let's go. I forgot that I'd done it. Next day he called me. I'm like, you know what? It's a good sign. Also, just as he did that, I had money come into my account from something else. And I was like, okay, this is meant to be. Pay him, get him to do it. And like, it was a lot of back and forward. It's quite difficult, like getting someone to mix and master your tracks, like from afar, that doesn't know you. Requires a lot of communication about what you want, but we work through it together. And I wasn't rushed about like a timeline. Anyway, I sent him the tracks, my first EP. Next day, because I was thinking, well, what's next? Well, I need to learn how to play this. Now I make electronic music, girl. I'm not just a guitar player. How do I play this? Oh, that's right. Instagram ad again, strikes again. Your Shot, a transformative DJ competition. Learn how to DJ in 5 weeks. Well, I almost didn't go. My friend staying with me, and I felt like a bit too but okay, excuse me, we're still on. But I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, I get sold off into a sex slave trade and I disappear forever, and I get, on the missing persons register. Anyway, that didn't happen. What actually happened is like my one goal, it's like I was almost about to go overseas, but I didn't. And this Your Shot made me realize, okay, Melbourne's where I need to be. My one goal this year was just to like find some community, like maybe like 1 or 2 friends, like a few people that just sort of get me. 11, baby. Instead, I have this whole community. I've got so many people. And I know how to do a DJ set now. I performed in front of like at least 50, maybe like 70 people on the JBL stage. I also keep pushing all this shit. I went viral DJing at Cows, went viral DJing on Flinders Street. All these things are starting to happen for me artistically. I just keep pushing myself out of my comfort zone again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And this is the journey, baby. And the thing that I really struggled with, right, when I got into that habit of producing during the night, of spending all my weekend working, all my week, like, baby, I live and breathe this. Like, I would wake up at I would start making music at 10 a.m. and I would finish at 5 a.m. the following day. I'd be locked in. And so, also something people don't talk about is when you finally get into this habit of creating the life you want, this dream life, it can be so easy to then swing the opposite way in the pendulum. And for me, I then found it so impossible to go back out into the world again. And I still am struggling with that, actually. I still am struggling with the long-term impacts of being locked down for so long, because there's still so much anxiety. I feel like the person that I am hasn't really caught up to the person that I think I am on the inside, the person I think I look like on the outside. There's so much that needs to catch up. And so it's really, really hard to continue to get myself out there, but I still keep doing it, every single night. I think that everyone hates me, but then I go out and I see my friends and I realize that was just a lie that I told myself, that my brain told me to keep me safe, but my brain doesn't always know best. Okay? So basically that's my journey up until now. I just released my first track, Just a Fan, of the EP. It's a 7-track EP. Oh my God, we've got so much to come. And I can't wait to keep sharing this journey of becoming and evolving and growing. And I want you to be front seat for it all. I just want to document a real person becoming real, raw, like me, to show you that you can do hard things as well. You can change your life. You can break free. It's hard and it's slow, and that's what we miss a lot in modern media is the middle, right? The middle, raw, messy shit. So thank you for being here. If you've watched this way, oh my God, I love you. Also, how weird is time? How weird, because I'm here right now. And I'm recording this right now in this moment. And I don't know when anyone's watching this. You know what I mean? So crazy. Anyway, that reminds me of my song, Put the Kettle On. I've never been good at understanding time. So true. The chokehold that it has on me, the only thing holding me in the arms of the ones I love is the thing that'll tear them away from me. Anyway, I pay too much mind to the things in life I don't understand. Shut up, Caprice. It's 11:14. You've been now yapping for 24:35. And that's not the first. I've already done 2 10-minute videos for my Patreon. We don't stop here. But I had a lot of thoughts to get out. That was really important. That was great. And now I'm going to hot bath yoga bed. I thought I was going to be asleep by 10:30. It's 11:15. That's fine. We're doing the self-care, and I love you, and it's going to be okay, and you can do it. If no one's told you, you can do it. Yeah. No one thought I could do it, and that's why I did it, because I am completely fueled of pity and rage. Nah, not really. Go where the love is, baby. Seriously, every day. Choose love.